Full stand, I'll have invocation and pledge of allegiance. We bow in attitude of prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for the night of rest. Thank you for this another beautiful day in Washington County. We pray that we honor and glorify and serve you in the things we do and say. Lord, direct us and guide us today. May we serve the citizens of Washington County. And most importantly, that we would honor you and please you in the things that take place here today. Guide us, direct us, use us for thy service, I pray in thy name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to our June 18th, 2024 meeting. And first up is approval of the minutes of June 4th.
Motion to approve June 4th minutes.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second motion and a second on the floor? All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Next up is commissioners' reports and comments. Wayne, you want to go first today?
I can, but I have nothing today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Colonel? Wow. Randy?
Well, I guess I'm up. Morning. Jeff and I were able to attend Pleasant Valley River Tan Fishing Rodeo this past weekend. They do a great job. The kids like it. It's down at the Brownsville Pond. They have food for them and treats and just make it a nice event for all the kids. Thank the employees who took advantage and showed up to Employee Appreciation Night, the honor night at the stadium. It was a fun night. I think everybody had a good time. And good weather. It was a good experience for everybody. And I wanted to thank Boonesboro for their evening meeting last week. They always hospitable and very nice meeting usually for an evening meeting. So that's all I have.
Again, I'll repeat, I also attended the Pleasant Valley Rural Tan Fishing Tournament. That was well attended. It's fun watching the parents and the kids interact. And Daddy, I caught a big one was one of the quotes I heard from that day. And I also want to thank all those who organized Employee Appreciation Night at the stadium, and also thank the town of Boonesboro for meeting with them the other night. And then I did attend two flag ceremonies, one at the Redmond Lodge there in Williamsport, and they had the world famous community band play, and they did an awesome job playing the patriotic tunes. And I also attended the one at Morse Rock, Post 42. Both were well attended and very patriotic. And I did stop by Wheaton Park Saturday afternoon. I couldn't make the scheduled events at 5 and 6 o'clock, but I did stop by that afternoon and walk around and meet the people. So that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Klein. For me, I guess first and foremost, the employee recognition night at the ballpark was phenomenal. It was very encouraging. I talked to a lot of the employees, and everyone seemed to enjoy themselves, have a good time, and we're very appreciative. I can't begin to express how many employees I got to talk to that were excited that we had done something like this, and hopefully we can continue that and do it again. So thank you to everyone that was able to participate in that nice evening at the new Meredith Stadium. Also, I think it was last Thursday, there was a major announcement. There's a collaboration between Meredith Health and Brook Lane Psychiatric Center, which has been in our community for nearly 75 years. Meredith and Brook Lane are teaming up together, and I think it's a win-win for our community. And just a few key facts that are on this fact sheet that was handed out at that major announcement. Did you know that altogether Meredith and Brook Lane have 83 inpatient psychiatric beds, including more than half of them are for children and adolescents? So I think it's a win-win for our community. It's a win-win for Meredith. win-win for Brook Lane. Obviously, with over half of the inpatient units here, it's a win-win for our school system and school board. So we wish them well, and as they work together to help the mental health of our community. So thanks to Meredith and Brook Lane for all that they do and for the many years of service to this community. With that, upcoming events, there's quite a few of them. The June Chamber Bash is this Thursday, the 20th, at CMB Bank on Virginia Avenue. The 29th Annual Children's Village Golf Tournament is this Friday. Grand opening of, well, it's on here twice, CMB Bank. Then I guess the bash is there on Thursday, then on Friday's the grand opening of Virginia Avenue. Eagle Scout ceremony for Samuel Tomlinson is Monday, June 24th. Live United Awards and campaign celebration is Wednesday, June 26th. The Kaiser Family Health grand opening up in Clear Spring is Thursday, the 27th. The Chamber Coffee and Connections is Friday, the 28th. At South Potomac Street, and finally the Gatlin Illumination is Friday, June 28th at Gatlin State Park. The next Board of County Commissioners meetings will be Tuesday, July the 2nd. There is no meeting next week. So with that, unless I'm missing anything, anyone have anything, we'll move into staff comments, and first up is Chip.
Morning, Commissioners. Chip Rose, Director of Human Resources. I have 3 items for you this morning. First off, staff requests approval to hire Alan Matheny as the Director of Emergency Management and Communications, effective July the 8th of 2024. Grade is 18, step is a 17.
Grade
Salary-
17, step 18.
Apologize. Grade 17, step 18. The annual salary is $124,821.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. 5-0.
Second item, staff requests approval to hire Rosalinda Pascal, Deputy County Attorney, effective June 24th, 2024. It's a grade 18, step 5, a salary of $95,430.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Same sign. 5-0. Thank you.
Last item for you, staff is requesting approval to advertise and pre-hire a project manager for water quality. The grade is a 13 in step 1 at a salary of $62,754 annually. The incumbent is retiring on August the 30th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second on the floor. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. 5-0. Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chip. Next up is Dawn.
Good morning, Commissioners. On behalf of the Washington County Board of Social Services, I am requesting a motion to reappoint Cynthia Brown, Shannon Gaines, and Laditra Robinson to serve a second 3-year term from July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2027. This is not a paid board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Opposed? Thank you. 5-0.
And also, on behalf of the Washington County Board of Social Services, I'm requesting a motion to appoint Monica Johnson to serve a first full 3-year term from July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2027.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Thank you.
And on behalf of the Adult Public Guardianship Review Board, I am requesting a motion to appoint Melissa Short to serve a first full 3-year term from July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2027 as the public health nurse representative.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and second. All in favor by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. 5-0.
And on behalf of the Local Management Board, I am requesting a motion to appoint Susan Buchanan, Clarence Davis, and Jerry McCarney to serve a first full 3-year term from July 1st of 2024 through June 30th of 2027 as community representatives. This is not a paid board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor? Saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 5-0.
That's all I
Okay,
have.
thank you. Okay, Administrator Michelle Gordon.
Thank you. I also attended the Town of Boonesboro's meeting, and I'd like to thank them for graciously hosting that. I feel like it was a really productive meeting, and it's always nice getting out into the community. We did receive a request from Boonesboro Economic Development Commission to ask for the board to support the Town of Boonesboro's application to receive the designation as a Main Street Maryland affiliate. This designation would allow them to leverage some resources and revitalize the Boonesboro area. So I just need a consensus to sign that letter of support.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'd also like to thank the staff and HR for coordinating the Employee Appreciation Day at the Boxcars game in Meredith Stadium, and also like to thank the county commissioners for approving the funding for that request. We do have a number of employees who are working 24/7, who were not able to attend because they were working, so we'll open up a second block of maybe 100 tickets just for those employees, not for employees to go a second time, but for employees to have the opportunity who maybe were working that evening. I also attended the Mako County Administrators meeting. Other counties are also experiencing some issues with the Health Department and MDE with their new interpretations related to water and sewer. Our staff in our planning department is working through those process changes now, so you may have people reach out to you regarding any problems that they're having with the health department securing water and sewer and septic permits. So if you have any calls or if you know of anybody that's having any issues, please have them reach out to Jill Baker, who is our Director of Planning and Zoning, in case you hear from anybody. And that's everything that I have.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, next up is citizens' participation, and once again, I'd like to read the citizens' participation statement. This is an opportunity for citizens to comment about an issue or issues of county practices and interests. This is not an interactive dialogue or question and answer session. It is solely time to hear citizens' comments. And we are strictly asking that all remarks be held to 3 minutes or less, and there will be a timer, and we will be enforcing the 3-minute limit. So with that, I'd like to open it up to the front row.
I'm waiting for it to start counting down. You're so concerned about 3 minutes. Okay. Deputy Communications Officer for Washington County Public Schools is a child molester. His name is Steve Edwards. He is actually not a real person. Steve Edwards is a stage name. His real name is Steve Cornwall. I did a preliminary search on the Virginia Sex Offender Database. There was a response, a registered sex offender in the same geographic region where Mr. Edwards claims to be from, and that person had 2 different counts of indecent exposure. So I contacted Mr. Edwards, and he told me the reason why he's given a fictitious name and doing business under an alias and uttering by signing government documents and contracts and such under a fictitious name, because if you read the Maryland Criminal Code, to go around signing contracts and engage in official business and conduct official business and create official public records under a fake name, that is a felony called uttering. You guys might want to investigate it. I do believe we have a sheriff's department here capable of looking into such matters. I confronted him about this. He said the reason why he uses the name Steve Edwards instead of his actual legal name is because that was his stage name in college. Exactly. His stage name in college is why he is out there pretending to be somebody else. It's not because he has a bad background. It's not because the information that I received that I alluded to at the beginning of my statements about him being a child molester is true. No, no, no. It's because it's his stage name from college. This man is in his mid-50s. He is going around saying he is somebody that he is not. He was hired to lobby Annapolis for policies that would benefit the school board and David Savine, which is the guy that brought him from Virginia and hired him. That's the superintendent, Dr. Joseph Mangala Savine, another crook and carpetbagger. I commented Sunday night after discovering all this information on the Facebook page for Washington County Public Schools, and in direct defiance of the law, my comments about Steve being a carpetbagger were removed. So that guy doesn't exist. He's using a fraudulent name. I have actually I've filed a PIA request to find out the date of his background check and his actual legal name, which he did not give me in the phone conversation. He did not provide his full legal name. I had got that off the internet. Apparently he did the same thing in Frederick County. That's why he was run out of there and has to drive across 2 states to come to work in Washington County. I contacted the chief legal counsel for Washington County Public School Board. She was completely unaware, at least in my conversation with her, that all of my comments were being deleted. And after informing her of the case law of ACLU of Northern Virginia versus Loudoun County School Board, she had my comments immediately restored, which is smart because it is illegal to delete citizen comments, regardless of what those comments are, regardless of who they're directed to, and regardless of the contents of the citizen's free speech. I had over 20 comments about Steve Edwards being a carpetbagging fraud removed from their Facebook page, which is illegal. I'm expecting my elected commissioners to investigate the matter and investigate the allegations that were passed on to me about our school board guy, Steve Edwards, being a child molester. Find out if they're true or if they're not. They're just allegations at this point, but I don't have his real name. I have a name that I got off of the internet where he had did the same thing in Frederick County, Virginia, this Steve Cornwall guy, and there was a match with the sex offender registry in the same geographic region this Steve Edwards purports to be from. I can't verify any of that, and I can't give civilian oversight of my government workers and my government officials if they're using fake and fraudulent names. And I don't believe that Washington County government should be giving money to a guy who's going around entering into contracts, signing official documents, giving meetings, handing out business cards, putting placards on his desk with a fake, fictitious, fraudulent name. I believe that would make anyone involved in him doing that, and anyone that facilitates him doing that, like Dr. Savine, who knows his real identity because they worked together for 11 years previously before they were run out of Frederick County, Virginia's public school board. Anyone involved in that would be basically conspiring to commit uttering. I mean, wouldn't it be a conspiracy charge at that point? I mean, this is a felony in the Maryland Criminal Code to go around conducting business with a fraudulent name, fraudulent documents, any documents that that guy has signed, if he entered into any sort of contracts or promised anything to anybody, all that is void here and today, because you all know there is no such person as Steve Edwards, and you cannot pay actors to represent the government, and you cannot pay actors to go to Annapolis and lobby congressmen and state senators. If this guy is going to Annapolis to lobby on behalf of Washington County Public Schools, I am going to then boycott every single person that takes a meeting with him in Annapolis. So if you're Brooke Grossman, House of Delegates, and you take a meeting with Steve Edwards, I'm going to expose that she's meeting with a complete and total fraud, possible child molester, according to the allegations I've received. The bottom line is here, if he was hired to be a lobbyist for the school board, guess what we have to lobby for the people of Washington County? They're called House of Delegate members. They're called state senators. We have Quarterman. We have Brooke Grossman, the dolphin teeth lady out of Hagerstown. There are people to represent the citizens, and they are elected by the citizens. They are not bought and paid for by Dr. Savine to lobby to take money out of our paychecks in Annapolis. This guy is a fraud. Anyone that helps this guy will be exposed. Any politician that meets peace with this guy, I will do videos on, I will protest, I will show up in front of their houses like I do government officials all over this state in Virginia, and I'll protest in front of their kids' weddings like I did down in Richmond, Virginia. I don't care. You cannot have a guy walking around using a fictitious name. I think that the commissioners should hold our other county agencies accountable. You hold the purse strings, Mr. Barr. Give them less money. They got $8.6 million less than they wanted. Give them $28.6 million less than they wanted next year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. Other citizens' participation? Okay, can we, 9:30, the public hearing is not to start till 9:30? Should we, Michelle, do we want to?
We can take a brief
Take a
recess.
recess.
for
You wanna just
10
take a-
minutes,
Let's take a brief
start on
recess.
time,
Recess.
yeah.
Because I don't guess we're ready to try anything else. Yeah, okay, 10-minute recess, thank you. recess, and at this time, we have a public hearing, agricultural preservation easement rankings for FY 2025. The purpose of this hearing is to hear public comment concerning the matter. The procedure is as follows. We will first have staff introduce the matter, after which the hearing will be open for public comment and testimony. Each speaker will be given a maximum of 3 minutes to testify. After everyone who wishes to speak has done so, the hearing will close. At this time, I'd like to ask Chris Boggs, the Rural Preservation Administrator, will now introduce the matter.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Boggs, Rural Preservation Administrator, Department of Planning and Zoning. As we do each year, we bring to you for public hearing the easement rankings for each fiscal year. These are for FY '25. The purchase of permanent land easements through the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Program, or MALP, is the largest part of Washington County's rural preservation strategy. Each year, the Agricultural Land Preservation Advisory Board ranks the properties at their regular meeting, and today we bring those to the County Commissioners for review. Following review and consideration, the Commissioners are requested to approve the top 16 applicants to be forwarded to MALP based on the ranking formula. Easements then are purchased in the order of priority from the list provided. And basically they are offers are made until funding runs out. One of the main things here is that because of Maryland law, the MALP rankings are intended to remain confidential, which is why you each have a paper copy of the rankings in front of you right now. There's no impact to the county general fund, but the county will have an opportunity, usually each December, to provide a 60-40 match for the MALP program. We do that usually every December. As we know, the 60-40 match, for every $40 the county provides, MALP will provide 60 up to $1.3 million. The Ag Board has reviewed and approved these applications, and the Commissioners are now requested to move to approve the priority ranking for the applications and forward them to MALP. Are there any questions right now?
Okay.
We're approving top 16, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We will now open the public hearing for public comment. Anyone wishing to comment from the first row, please come forward, give us your name and address, and tell us what you'd like us to know. Have any public comment today? Okay. Hearing none, I'll bring it back to the Commissioners. Any comments, questions, concerns that the Commissioners may have?
Was there any discernible impact from the change in our formula?
A little bit. Nothing major. There's so many categories that in the ranking that it did flip-flop some of the properties. It moved some closer, it moved some further away from the #1 ranking. It probably did slightly impact the top 2 ranked properties, I would say, but not in a, it did not in a very major way, due to the fact that there are so many characteristics on this ranking. Of course, Commissioner Harvey refers to changing the points received for your proximity to the urban growth area. Now, the closer you are to the growth area, the more points you receive in that category, as opposed to previously, the further you were from the growth area, the more points you receive. That is a 5-point category. The major categories are soil qualities and proximity to other permanent easements, blocks of the soils and the proximity to other permanent easements are far and away the 2 largest point categories. Most of the other ones are between 5 and 7 points, depending. So, But, it's, a lot of it's just, black and white on there and, kind of location. It helps, but it's, the proximity to it would help some properties, but I don't think it was, as impactful as it might be in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other, again, citizens that would like to comment this morning? Hearing none, at this time, I'll declare that the public hearing is now concluded, and we'll bring it back once again to the commissioners for your consideration, either adoption or rejection of the proposal, or take it under advisement and deliberate at a later date.
You're looking for a motion?
I think so, yes.
Move forward, or is it consent? I motion to approve.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to move forward. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Abstain.
You're abstaining. 4, 1 abstain. Okay, thank you. Sit still, Chris, because next
Yep.
up is Price IP Child Lot.
Yep, that's why I stayed. So this next item is the Price Installment Purchase Program Easement Child Lot Request. The Installment Purchase Program is an easement program that the county has in place. Essentially, it piggybacks off of the MALP ranking and pays landowners over the course of 10 years. Currently, we're in the middle of we're kind of, I guess, about 2/3 of the way through one of our IPP cycles. And so essentially, every 10 years, you get a chance to re-up it. But this property, the Price property here, the Price easement, was part of our first round back in '04 was when they began. The property is located at 17314 Bakersville Road in Boonesboro, and it's part of a 252.56 acre easement that covers 2 parcels of land. The property, the deed of easement for this property contains a clause that allows for the landowners to take up to 3 lots to be subdivided off the parcel for the purpose of being a primary dwelling for either the owners or their children. And it further states that the parcel may not be larger than 2 acres in size. And additionally, this is their first request for a child's lot. Mr. Price has proposed to invoke this child lot request. It's shown on the attached aerial map, and it's approximately 1.32 acres in size. It's the first lot request on the parcel. It meets all of the criteria for approval. The release will not only require commissioner approval, but will also have to go through the normal county subdivision process afterwards. This is kind of step 1 for that child lot process. And then the release will be signed and recorded about the same time as the recordation of the subdivision plat. The county paid $1,006,960 for this easement in 2006 over the 252.56 easement acres, which is roughly $3,980.71 per acre. The deed of easement as part of the child lot request, just like MALP and some of our other programs, requires that the landowner, when making the child lot request, pay back that per capita acreage price per acre. And so as part of this deal, the prices must reimburse the county in the amount of $5,254.53. Of course, that is subject to change pending the survey, but I expect the surveyor to be able to keep it at around that 1.32 acres. Additionally, the Ag Board did vote on this at its May 14th, 2024 meeting, and it was unanimously approved with a 5-0 vote. So the recommended motion would be to approve the proposed child lot on the Dale and Wendy Price Installment Purchase Program easement property and draft a release to be signed by all interested parties and recorded among the land records of Washington County, Maryland. Any questions?
Motion to approve.
I just have one quick
You
question.
need a second first. He made a motion. I'll second it for discussion.
So the child lot is actually supposed to go to a family member, right?
Correct. It has to be either for, well, it's technically,
It can't be
It can be for the owner or their children.
Okay.
Correct.
So that,
And it only stays with the landowner who sold the easement. If they were to transfer the property to another entity, the new entity would not have the option to use the plot, so.
okay, and then does acreage include the easement of the driveway going all the way?
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, that was requested by the Ag Board that a panhandle that goes to the road be part of the subdivision.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, ready to vote. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Juneteenth proclamation. Terrence, coming forward. Good morning. You have any comments from the Diversion and Equity Inclusion Committee? And if you'll give your name and,
There's more members out there. You
Yeah.
may want them all.
You guys want to
yes,
come up?
everybody, come on up, please. I'm sorry. Sorry? Oh. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Terrence Ngwa. I'm the chair of the Washington County Diversity and Inclusion Committee.
Angela Yamashita, Vice Chair of the Diversity and Inclusion Committee.
Janine Salafu, the Secretary.
Good morning.
Good morning. On behalf of the committee, we appreciate the commissioners inviting us here today for this proclamation. We've come a long way in the history of our country, dark part of our history, and our hope in this committee is that we move past just proclamations, that our actions reflect where we want our county to be. And thank you so much.
Okay. Other comments?
No, I just want to echo what Terrence said.
Okay. We do have a proclamation, and it's customary, we'll make the presentation at the flags. So you want to come over there? On behalf of my fellow commissioners, we do have a proclamation, Juneteenth, June 19th, 2024. Whereas on January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation setting into motion the end of slavery in the United States. And whereas it was not until June 19th, 1865, that it was announced to those still enslaved in Texas, the people are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. And whereas celebration of the end of slavery, which became known as Juneteenth, is the oldest known public celebration of the end of slavery in the United States. And whereas Juneteenth commemorates African American freedom and celebrates the success gained through education and greater opportunity. And whereas on a larger scale, celebration of Juneteenth reminds each of us of the precious promises of freedom, equity, and opportunity, which are at the core of the American dream. Now therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, June 19th, 2024 as Juneteenth, and urge all the citizens to become aware of the significance of this celebration in American history and in the heritage of our nation, state, and county, awarded this 18th day of June.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
pull up here and have all the commissioners come up and get a picture with us.
So we go over here?
Yes.
I was so.
It's just not my morning.
We got some duct tape out in the car. We'll get that thing ready.
No, we got duct tape, we got fashion tape, we got all kinds of tape.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. We'll take a couple here. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because you're going to trip.
Okay, next item is FY '25 Healthy Families Home Visiting Grant Approval to submit application and accept awarded funding. Richard, good morning.
Good morning. Richard Lesh, Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management. The Washington County Office of Grant Management, on behalf of Local Management Board, is seeking a motion to approve and submit a fiscal year 2025 Healthy Families Home Visiting Grant application to the Maryland State Department of Education in the amount of $277,993. The Healthy Families Home Visiting Program is a comprehensive program modeled after nationally renowned initiative, Healthy Families America. The goals of the program are to prevent child maltreatment through the early intervention, promote healthy growth, development, and strengthening of the parent-child relationship. The funding is valid from July 1st of 2024 until June 30th of 2025. Funding in the amount of $6,606 is included in the award for administrative support. No county funds are involved in this award.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, 5-0. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next item is Governor's Office for Children, FY '25 award, additional funding. Nicole?
Good morning.
Morning.
Nicole Phillips, Senior Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management. I'm here today for a motion to approve the acceptance of $27,975 in supplemental funding awarded to the FY '25 Community Partnership Agreement from the Governor's Office of Children. The GOC has awarded the Washington County Local Management Board a total of $838,241 for its FY '25 programs and county administrative expenses. This total is $27,975 higher than the amount initially approved by the Board of County Commissioners on March 5th, 2024. The funding will be allocated among the 7 programs and the county administrative expenses to oversee these programs.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item is Community Legacy Grant Application, request for approval. Good morning.
Good morning. Nicole Phillips, Senior Grant Manager, Office of Grant Management.
Megan Jenkins, GIS Coordinator, Washington County Planning and Zoning.
The Department of Planning and Zoning is requesting a motion to submit a grant application to and accept funding awarded from the DHCD's Community Legacy Grant Program on behalf of Cascade Properties, requesting $286,737 to assist with the cost of rehabilitating Building 521 to facilitate future development of the former Fort Ritchie property. As part of the continuing efforts in the Fort Ritchie redevelopment project, Cascade Properties intends to rehabilitate Building 521 and convert it into a nature center, which will provide an educational resource for the wildlife and plants that are native to this region along the Appalachian Trail. The Nature Center will provide exhibits and information on the local fauna, animal population, and related information about the environment. It will be open to school groups as well as host camps, classes, and information sessions. If funding is awarded, the county will enter into a subrecipient agreement with Cascade Properties in order to subgrant the funds and outline each party's roles and responsibilities related to the project. The grant does not require any matching fund contribution from the county, and any remaining balance on the project will be the responsibility of Cascade Properties.
Motion to approve.
We have second?
Second.
A motion and second. I think everybody's getting tired on me or something. We have a motion and second on the floor in favor. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Okay, next item, 2024-2025, property and casualty insurance renewal. Sure. Okay. Are we ready to do the construction bid award?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott's here.
Okay, yep. Let's do that then. Next item we'll move forward is the construction bid award, Halfway Boulevard extended.
Good morning, Scott Hobbs, Director of Engineering. I'm here to recommend the board conditionally award the bid, including the add alternates, for the Halfway Boulevard extended contract to the lowest responsible bidder, C. William Hetzer of Hagerstown, Maryland, in the amount of $10,131,747.30. Conditional award is based on receiving concurrence and award from Federal Highway and State Highway Administration. The project was advertised in the Herald Mail, on the county's website, and email Marketplace Advantage. 5 bids were received on Friday, June 7th. The bids were evaluated, and the low bid is in order. The county budgeted $10,823,000 for the work. The project will extend Halfway Boulevard west towards Greencastle Pike from the intersection of Newgate Boulevard. The work involves constructing a 4-lane roadway that's 2 lanes in each direction and the installation of a traffic signal at the intersection of Greencastle Pike. Other work involves installing a large concrete culvert, a water line along the frontage of Hitachi Rail property, and realigning the access road to the county pump station. This is a 400 consecutive calendar day contract, and the project is scheduled to begin this summer. The bid documents include liquidated damages in the amount of $500 per calendar day for work beyond the completion date. This is a budgeted capital improvement project. Total expenses are estimated at $10,481,000, including inspection and testing costs and construction contingency. Hitachi Rail will cover the water line expenses, which were included in the add alternates. This is an Appalachian Regional Commission, ARC, federal aid project, and the county is receiving $3.8 million grant for the project. Any questions?
Just a curious one. I mean, the engineer's evaluation was 10,800,000, right? Is that what that means?
In the capital project, we had, $10,823,000.
It's just
under the
amazing to me
construction
that these
contract.
bids within that, basically over 10 million, they're so close. That's pretty, and then you guys were even just as close, so that's pretty, I'm fine with it. A motion to approve.
It's what they call good estimating.
We do our best.
Yep. Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
I vote. They ready?
Are you ready yet, or you still need to wait? Okay. We'll move on to the next one.
Okay. Next item is bid award, PUR 1671, elevator maintenance services at county facilities.
Good morning, Brandy Nagelbauer in the Purchasing Department.
Danny Hickson, Director of Public Works.
The first recommendation I have this morning is the bid award PUR 1671, elevator maintenance services at county facilities. Move to award the bid for elevator maintenance to the responsive responsible bidder, Oracle Elevator out of Hagerstown, Maryland, who submitted the lowest total sum annual bid of $29,460. On May 15, 2024, the county accepted bids for elevator maintenance services. The bid notice was listed in the local newspaper, the eMaryland Marketplace website, and the county's website. 14 companies downloaded the document. 3 bids were received. The contract is good for 1 year with 4 consecutive 1-year additional periods at our option. The bidder is to furnish all labor, materials, supervision, equipment, insurance, and permits necessary to provide for repair, adjustments, emergency services, preventive maintenance, and inspection services for a dumbwaiter and elevators at county facilities. The Washington County Health Department and the Washington County Library are also included in this contract. Funding is available in various department line items for these services.
Discussion or motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Motion is second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Next item is contract award, PUR 1679, accounting and review services.
Brandy Nagelbauer in the Purchasing Department.
Daryl Brown, Accounting Supervisor.
The next recommendation after you this morning is the contract award PUR 1679, Accounting and Review Services. Move to award the contract for accounting and review services for fire and rescue services to the responsive responsible bidder, AA Askew, LLC out of Edgewood, Maryland, with the lowest 5-year proposal of $389,066 and the professional services at their hourly rates indicated in the ARF. The scope of work is included in the agenda report form. The RFP was advertised in the local newspaper, the county's website, and the eMaryland Marketplace website. 54 companies downloaded the bid document. 6 firms were represented at the pre-proposal conference, and 8 proposals were received. Of those 8 proposals, 3 proposals were opened up, and the price was opened and reviewed by the coordinating committee. The initial term of the contract is anticipated for 1 year, tentatively starting July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, with the county having the option for 4 consecutive 1-year renewals. Funding in the amount of $120,000 is budgeted for the cost of these services, and the out years will be adjusted via the pricing in the contract.
I guess this is just more of a question for me. Exactly, so they do for what fire and rescue? All fire and rescue, or?
The companies submit reimbursements for the general allocations, response assistance, utilities, and so forth. And this company then does all the review of that, make sure they're within the guidelines and policies, submits to our department for reimbursements.
Okay.
And Randy, there's a list of all of those in that,
Okay.
that scope that's provided.
Thank you. A motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Good, thank you. Next item is contract award, PUR 1674, Hagerstown Regional Airport Taxiway C of A Rehabilitation Project.
Randy Nagelbauer in the Purchasing Department.
Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works.
The last recommendation I have for you this morning is the contract award PUR 1674, Hagerstown Regional Airport Taxiway C Object-Free Area Rehabilitation Project. Move to award the Taxiway C project to the responsive responsible bidder, C. William Hetzer of Hagerstown, Maryland, who submitted the lowest total sum bid in the amount of $563,865. This award is also contingent upon the FAA concurrence for award and contingent upon the county attorney's approval of the agreement. The scope of work includes but is not limited to reconstruction, milling, overlay, and marking of taxiway asphalt and pavement. The reconstruction involves excavation and embankment, draining, new asphalt pavement, lighting, guidance signs, and marking. The intent of the contract is to provide for construction and completion in every detail of the work as described in the solicitation. It is further indicated that the contractor shall provide and furnish all labor, materials, equipment, tools, transportation, and supplies required to complete the work in accordance with the specification and the terms of the contract. The project is should be substantially completed within 20 consecutive calendar days of the issuance of the notice to proceed. The invitation to bid was listed in the local newspaper, email and marketplace website, and the county's website. 24 companies downloaded the document. 1 company was present during the pre-bid conference, and 2 bids were received. Funds are budgeted in the department's capital improvement budget for this in the amount of $1,002,614.56. FAA anticipated funding is 90%, MAA 5%, and the local responsibility is 6%.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, before we vote, on the cover sheets, the bid review, is that price right underneath the second bidder?
It is.
Yes.
They had an error in their proposal,
Okay, yeah.
and
pretty big-
they're aware of it.
Okay, pretty big delta there.
Yes, pretty large error.
It was.
Kind of scary, so. Okay. We have a motion second. All in favor by saying aye? Okay, 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we ready to step back to the,
I don't see Patrick Buck yet, so.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
next item is Marty Snook Park.
No, there's another taxiway in there.
Other airport one.
There's another Hagerstown there, a COF.
Airport.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Overlooked that one. Hagerstown Regional Airport Taxiway, C of A, and we've already,
This is essentially to follow up on what we just talked
Okay.
about to the FAA.
okay, let me go ahead and finish reading it then. Approval for the purchase orders and to submit related applications. I apologize. I thought, yep.
Yes, so Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works, here seeking 2 motions. The first is to allow the airport director to submit to the FAA and the MAA grant applications, which is what's in your packet, essentially all the paperwork, and issue the related purchase orders and accept award grants based upon the revised totals that we just approved prior to this agenda item. And then the second item is to approve issuance of the purchase order to ADCI in the amount of $70,222 for Phase 2 construction phase services. So essentially, there's a lot of information here, and so what we're doing is we're before you in May for the grant submission form. That was based upon conceptual numbers. We just did the construction award prior to this, and then now this brings it all together with the updated numbers for the grant, and then authorizes the construction phase services.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for approval as submitted. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move right along then into the Marty Snook Park Mythical Woods Small Pavilion Budget Adjustment.
Andrew Eshelman, Director of Public Works. I'm here before you with a motion to approve the budget adjustment as presented to allow for the construction of a small pavilion adjacent to Marty's Mythical Woods in honor of Mary Snook that would be funded by donations as well as general fund capital transfer dollars, and the total being $25,000. Since this area was completed in 2021, the Marty's Mythical Woods has been a popular addition, attracting a lot of visitors to the area in the park. The playground has picnic tables, but there is no covered meeting place for gatherings or groups. Mary Snook passed away in March after 87 years, and the family wanted to do something to honor her legacy and show appreciation by making a contribution to the park and then the playground. And so the addition of a small timber pavilion adjacent to this playground has been a priority that Parks and Recreation has identified, and we think that will enhance the visitor experience as well as the use of the playground. So essentially how we've looked at this is the family is looking to is able to contribute approximately $11,700 towards the effort. The cost for the pavilion kit and the roofing is about $17,000, and then the county would lead the efforts to do the installation and come up with the remaining funds for material costs and incidentals. Are there any questions about this project or undertaking?
No, motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second, ready to vote. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We can go back now.
Okay. Back up to the 1020 agenda item, 2024-2025 property and casualty insurance renewal.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tracy McCammon, Risk Management Coordinator.
Chip Rose, Director of Human Resources.
Patrick Buck with CBiz Insurance.
And we're presenting the 2024-2025 property and casualty insurance renewal. Recommended motion, move to renew the property and liability policies with Travelers Insurance Company and the airport liability policy with AIG. Renewal quotes from insurance carriers are reflected on the attached premium comparison. The total renewal is 6% increase in premiums over what was paid in last year's actuals. As you can see from the attached premium comparison, our biggest increase is in the auto liability and the auto physical damage lines of coverage. This is due to total exposure increasing by 7% and a very significant increase in the physical damage claims. To give you a breakdown of the direct loss ratio for those auto physical damage claims, you can see in the last 5 years, we are back at 152.7% where we were 5 years ago in 2019. So as a result of those increases, Travelers has increased our deductible for our passenger vehicles to $2,500 and for passenger buses to $5,000. But there is some good news on the cyber liability, and that is Travelers has advised that if we can get through this next policy period with no claims, they would consider removing our ransomware sublimit that we have currently and potentially increasing our overall coverage limit back to what it was prior to 2022. Physical impact, again, it's a 6% increase in premiums, but we are within the 8% that was budgeted for the fiscal year. Concurrences is Chip Rose, Director of Human Resources, and Michelle Gordon, County Administrator. The alternative would be to do a complete market bid, but then that would cause a lapse in coverage. So with that, do you have any questions?
Motion to approve.
Second, just for a question, if I can ask, since we're well ahead of time. Just under discussion, due to exposure increasing by 7%, very significant increase in physical damage claims. Any commentary or color you can add to that sentence?
I can't really give you a why as to why we have so many of those claims, other than I know there's been a lot of deer strikes, mailboxes hit, side mirrors going down a one-way street. It's very close, so mirrors are getting hit. We also had several vehicles that were damaged by hail last August, and it just happened to be that those vehicles were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Not much you can do about the weather-related claims.
Mm-hmm. And if I can add, the cost to repair vehicles over the past 5 years is just skyrocketed, you know, with everything else.
So
that's contributing as well.
Is it that our employees are having more accidents, or is the accidents that they're having cost more to fix?
I would say it's probably both,
Okay.
and I think Patrick would agree with that.
One other thing I'd add, Commissioner Kiefer, is the size of our fleet is larger than it's ever been before. So we have 596 vehicles under the insurance policy today, which is more than we've ever had. So more cars, more accidents, greater costs.
HR is currently working on an audit of the vehicles that we have in our fleet to make sure, one, that they're still needed, and to try to move out some of those older vehicles and get some of those vehicles sold. So they're doing an audit right now currently.
Okay. When do you think that'll be shared with us?
Chip?
We just started it, so I think we're scheduled to get some new data that will give us 2 years of historical data as of the end of this month. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I think we're going to use that data. We're doing some preliminary assessment right now, having some conversations with the directors. But we'll have some data that will give us 2 full years of data at the end of this month. And so I would hope early to mid-July.
I've also asked Chick to reach out to our insurance company to see if there are any defensive driving courses or safety classes that our insurance provider can offer to our employees to help reduce some of the claims that we have.
Okay.
I would assume somebody did the math on, I mean, it's a crazy question, but I do it for myself all the time on deductibles. Is it cheaper to raise our deductibles? Isn't that possible at this point? Are we up as high as we can go to lower insurance premiums, or?
Not as high as we can go, but I think that would be counterproductive from a cost standpoint if we go too high on it. Now,
From the math, has anybody took the time to figure out how much extra, or at 6% over time, compared to what we would have paid for more deductible?
no, we haven't done the math on for the comp and collision to increase it any higher than what we have right now. The increase was something that Travelers had mandated that we do. We didn't want to do that, just because, the more frequency of claims, the higher deductibles, that can add up costs on the back end. But with that increase, we did see some reduction in what the premiums could have been if we left the deductibles where they were. Does that help answer the question?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the idea of the vehicle audit.
We've got our fingers in a lot of creative pots. We're trying to figure out what the right nozzles would be to twist or to turn, but in partnership with our colleagues, we're going to look at an audit of the overall vehicles, just the number of vehicles that we have. We're going to try to look at the number of vehicles that are take-home vehicles that are exposing sort of additional risk of driving home and back to work. We're exploring the potential possibility of dash cams in cars. I know that's got some mixed reviews from a lot of folks around the county. And then, as Michelle mentioned, we're looking at a policy to make sure that the employees that have the most accidents are somehow more closely held accountable. If they have more than one accident in a year, for example, we would do a training course.
And I think it's good for the public to know there's not only just our vehicles they see around, it's also all the sheriff's vehicles
Correct.
are counted on that number.
That's right.
Okay.
I look forward to the audit.
Yep.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any more questions? Hearing none, ready to vote. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
Next item is Sole Source Procurement Award, PUR 1684, Acela SAAS Subscription and Migration Services. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing. Joshua O'Neill, CTO of Information Systems. Coming before you is a Sole Source Procurement Award, PUR 1684, Acela SaaS Subscription and Migration Services. Recommended motion to authorize a sole source procurement installation of software licensing and support from Acela Incorporated of San Ramon, California, an amount of $729,423.30 over a 3-year period based on the company's quote dated February 2nd, 2024. You can see the breakdown for year 25, 26, and 27. We received this request. The Permits and Inspection Department and Information System Department wishes to apply Section 1-106.2A1 and 2 of the Code of Public Laws of Washington County to the procurement request. These sections state that a sole source procurement is authorized and permissible when only one source meets the county's requirements and the compatibility of equipment, accessories, or replacement of parts is of paramount consideration. The procurement is for Acela to migrate the department from Acela's land migrate instance to Acela's cloud-based platform to be utilized by permits inspection, planning and zoning, engineering, and members of the public will also access the platform online services. The contract includes system setup, installation, travel expenses. The project's anticipated to be completed in 20 weeks. The start date for the project is 45 calendar days after a mutual acceptance of the signature of the statement of work. The request requires approval of 4 or 5 of the commissioners in order to proceed with the sole source procurement. If approved, the following remaining steps of the process will occur as outlined by the law. 1, not more than 10 days after execution and approval of the contract under this section, the procurement agency shall publish notice of the award in a newspaper of general circulation in the county. And 2, an appropriate record of the sole source procurement shall be maintained as required. As far as the fiscal impact, there's funding of $400,000 available in the CIP. Also, we have concurrences from the Director of Information Systems. Any questions?
Is this partially paid for by permit fees and applications? Is that?
Well, we do receive permit fees, but it partially pays for the actual department operating costs. This is coming out of our CIP.
Okay. Okay.
I motion to approve. I think it's in line with the legal requirements, and it's moving, we're working with a contractor that's been providing the same service, so that's why we're doing it in this way. So I support it. I motion to approve. We need 4 in order to do that.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ready to vote? All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Next item is intergovernmental cooperative purchase 24-0144, fire apparatus tools and accessories for Division of Emergency Services.
Again, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing.
David Chisholm, Deputy Director of Emergency Services.
Subject before you is intergovernmental cooperative purchase, INTG 24-0144, fire apparatus tools and accessory for Division of Emergency Services. Recommended motion to authorize by resolution for the approval of the purchase of the fire apparatus tools and accessories for Division of Emergency Services from Municipal Emergency Services of Rockville, Maryland, for the total sum of, and utilizing another jurisdiction's contract was awarded by Fairfax County. Contract number 4400010-661 for a total sum of $55,655.79. Section 106.3 of the Public Code Law of Washington County grants authorization for the county to procure goods or services under contract entered into by another government entity. On items over $50,000, a determination to allow or participate in an intergovernmental cooperative purchasing arrangement shall be by resolution and shall indicate that the participation will provide cost benefits to the county or result in administrative efficiencies and savings or provide other justification for the arrangement. The county will benefit from the direct cost savings in the purchase of the various tools and accessories because the economy of scales of this contract has leverage. Additionally, the county will realize savings through administrative efficiency as a result of not preparing, soliciting, or evaluating a bid. Acquisition of the tools and accessories by utilizing the County of Fairfax, Virginia's contract and eliminating our county's bid process will result in administrative cost savings for the Division of Emergency Services in preparing the specification and also the purchase department. As far as the fiscal impact, there are funds available for this purchase. We have concurrence. We have the attachment of the quote in the resolution. Any questions?
I motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Hearing no discussion, all in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next item is Circuit Court Smart System Refresh Memorandum of Understanding, PUR 1694.
Again, Rick Curry, Director of Purchasing. Subject is Circuit Court Smart System Refresh Memorandum of Understanding, PUR 1694. Recommend the motion, this is on behalf of Kristen Gross-Nichols, Circuit Court Administrator. Recommend the motion move to approve the MOU between the Administrative Office of the Court and the Commissioners of Washington County for the Court Smart Refresh for Washington County Circuit Court in the amount of $51,228. The Administrative Office of Courts is requesting to enter into a MOU with Washington County government for the system refresh for the Circuit Court Recording System, Court Smart. The Circuit Court Recording System used to record all court sessions. Court Smart is overdue for a system refresh. The court was going to request this in their FY26 budget, but the AOC has agreed to cover the cost to negotiate costs for multiple court locations rather than needing to be funded by the county government. Court Smart will refresh cooperating systems, Court Smart software, and SQL. This will refresh the audio servers, archive PC, controllers, equipment as outlined in the attached price quotation. The service will provide digital recording for the existing 7 courtrooms. This purchase will be a sole source purchase for the compatibility of existing equipment. This purchase is to be completed by Washington County government through the circuit court budget from the computer software equipment account with reimbursement by the Administrative Office of Courts upon project completion and payment. The Purchase Department received this request from the Court Administrator regarding procurement for the system refresh. The court wishes to apply Section 1-106.2 A1 and 2 of the Code of Public Local Laws of Washington County, Maryland. The procurement request, these sections state that a sole source procurement is authorized or permissible when only one source meets the county's requirements, and also the compatibility of equipment and accessory or repair parts is a paramount consideration. Funding amount of $43,069 available for this, and concurrences from the Circuit Court Administrator. Questions?
So is this fiscal year '24?
Yes, coming out this year.
This year, okay.
Okay.
You spent a lot of money today, Rick. Must be the last meeting of our fiscal year.
Yes, sir. It's always crunch time this time of year for us.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we need a motion to convene as the Board of Health.
Motion to convene as Board of Health.
Second.
All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
With that, we'll move right into Maryland Optimal Adolescent Health Program, True You.
Good morning. Earl Sterner, Health Officer of Washington County Health Department.
And I'm Danielle Stahl, Program Manager, Washington County Health Department.
Okay, we are here today to seek the approval of the recommended motion to move forward with a contract with Girls Inc. of Washington County in the amount of $150,000, and the contract period would be for the next fiscal year from July through the end of June of next year. And again, as Commissioner Barr pointed out, it's for the MOAP program. It's basically targeted to implement sexual education along with the Washington County Public Schools, like in the school system. I believe we are looking at 6 high schools?
Yes.
6 high schools throughout the county.
Motion to approve.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval. And just to comment, this is 100% funded by the state of Maryland?
Correct.
The state health department?
Correct.
I should
No
say.
local funds.
Right. With that, ready to vote. All in favor by saying aye. Okay, thank you, 5-0. Next item is still under Board of Health, is the Maryland Medical Assistance Non-Emergency Transportation Contract.
And again, we are here to seek the approval of the commissioners to move forward with AAA. It's AmVan Incorporated, but they do business as AAA as the Medicaid medical assistance provider for non-emergency, obviously not emergency, but non-emergency transportation for eligible individuals throughout the Washington County area. And again, it's for non-emergency transports. It's for individuals who are on medical assistance and they are going to a medical or dental appointment. There are times when those individuals may need a caregiver or someone to go with them, and that person would be approved for transportation also. We've been with AAA for many, many years, and we've never really had any issues. So honestly, I think they're the only ones that ever really bid on it.
And this is only for Medicaid?
Only for Medicaid.
Okay.
Correct.
It's also 100%.
How many people do we have on Medicaid in the county?
Man, you asked me too soon. I don't know that figure. We provide, I'll get that for you. We provide tripwise for individuals in this program. Fiscal year to date, we've done 17,306 trips, and a trip is one way. So if you're going to your medical appointment, that's one trip. And if you look at unduplicated clients, it's a little over 1,000, 1,076. But I will get the total Medicaid population for you.
Okay, and are undocumented people included in this?
Potentially, if they're on medical assistance, yes.
Is there a way to get that number too?
I will try.
Appreciate
I'm sure there's some way to get it, but I'll try to get
That
that.
would be beneficial. Thank you.
You're looking for a motion? Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Before I call for a vote, I guess, Earl, I have a question. This transportation service, I know the junior college has a dental hygienist program, and they're struggling to find willing participants, if you will, or clients. Could this can't be used to?
It's not, it's only to Medicaid payable services.
Okay.
So they don't accept Medicaid, so unfortunately, they would not be able to do that.
Just a thought, just a question. So,
But that's something in the future to think about, even locally, being able to, on the local level, potentially come up with a program or a service to do that.
Okay.
Along with someone like CAC or that provides transportation.
Absolutely.
It's a good thought.
Okay. With that, motion and second on the floor. All in favor by saying aye.
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 Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Motion. Thanks, Earl. Motion to reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners.
So moved.
Yeah.
Second?
Second, yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good gracious, we're about an hour ahead. Can we go into closed session? For the reasons stated?
Great idea.
Michelle, we okay to go ahead into closed session?
Yeah.
We're good, okay. With that, let's take a, what do you think, 5-minute recess, and then we'll come back in closed session.